This doctor's office was alleged to make over $24 million. Mostly the entire staff, from the lead doctor to the office managers and also the pharmacists, was arrested for an alleged multi-million-dollar scheme. They were all arrested in 2022 last year after allegedly running this operation for the span of about 4 years. Police would arrest the lead doctor, whose name I really can't pronounce, so I'll just put it on screen. Dr. Samsri Ratana Prasadporn, age 75, along with office managers Letitia Smith, 54, Bassam Amin, 69, Omar El Sayed, 29, and Youssef Anab, 25. These 5 are alleged of distributing about 1.2 million oxycodones of different milligrams into the New York streets for the span of about 4 years. It's alleged that the lead doctor would put in prescriptions under the name of people who have died years ago several times, and apparently his pharmacist willingly knew the whole time and filled these illegal prescriptions allegedly. FBI even intercepted calls between the doctor and office manager Letitia Smith. Smith was heard telling Ratana Prasadporn, anybody could call and say they're the patient, and then just come and drop it. You know, drop it in the box and then we don't know, we can't see them. Smith and Ratana Prasadporn agreed to reduce all oxycodone prescriptions from 120 tablets to 90 tablets from that point on, according to the detention memo. The group allegedly sent out 11,000 prescriptions of these medications in the span of 4 years, and as aforementioned, they started out with 120 counts of oxy, but reduced it to 90 to be a little safer it seems, according to the phone call intercepted between the lead doctor and Smith. The lead doctor in the indictment would also allow Smith to fill in these same prescriptions with his DEA number, along with the distributors who would also fraudulently use it according to court documents. Ratana Prasadporn also gave Smith access to her own electronic prescription login credentials, and Smith would then issue prescriptions, prosecutors alleged. How the whole thing would work is after putting in these prescriptions, individuals allegedly would approach the medical office, drop 200 in the mailbox outside the office, and in exchange, receive an electronic prescription for 30 milligrams of oxycodone, usually in 90 counts, according to the detention memo. Amin, Anab, and El Sayed allegedly filled the prescriptions at pharmacies in Brooklyn and Staten Island. Kent, Mathis, and Walker oversaw crews of sham patients who received medically unnecessary prescriptions, prosecutors allege. In other words, meaning these pharmacists allegedly had crews of people, also known as runners. That is a commonly used term that describes a person being sent in to do a crime that is likely fraud or theft, and they receive a minor share. These runners are the crews of sham patients. Prosecutors mentioned they would be used to get these prescriptions who never really needed them. The distributors who also got wrapped up in this indictment didn't work at the offices of anything, but were the ones selling the oxycodone for the office. Michael Kent, Anthony Mathis, and Raymond Walker were all charged with conspiracy to distribute and possess with intent to distribute oxycodone and related crimes. Smith and Kent are also charged with money laundering in connection with their alleged efforts to hide the proceeds of their illegal oxycodone distribution operation. These were the main distributors, allegedly, who were the ones doing all the work on the streets to get the drugs gone, selling the oxycodone pills anywhere from $20 to $30 and give back a share to the medical office, and mainly Smith, who filed the majority of the prescriptions. A raid was done at the home of Smith and several hundreds of thousands of dollars in US currency was found. An exact amount wasn't disclosed, but no pills were found at any of the raids of distributors, but 2 handguns was found at the property of one of the distributors. If convicted of the drug charges, the defendants face up to 20 years of imprisonment, according to prosecutors. If convicted of money laundering charges, Smith and Kent face up to 20 years of imprisonment for each count. What seems like the master $1 million scheme all came down to crumble after racking up a total $24 million between 8 people. I don't know how the splits were, but $24 million between 8 people is a lot of money to be made only in a 4-year span. Do you guys think that this whole operation was even worth it to begin with, just to get caught at the end? Let me know what you think in the comments. In my opinion, personally, I felt like they should have stopped after a while. Kinda did it a little too long and got too comfortable. The main office manager, Letitia Smith, who we talked about earlier, was even questioned a year or two before being charged, and still continued to fill these prescriptions after being questioned why she filled the same prescription 9 times for a person who died several years ago. Letitia Smith, who acted as Dr. Samju Ratana Prasadporn's office manager at her Brooklyn office, has pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute controlled substances and 1 count of money laundering interstate commerce. Her sentencing is set for January 23, 2024, according to court documents. Another defendant, Michael Kent, also pled guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute controlled substances and will be sentenced on January 17, 2024.